Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we just found out that Kofi is about to get brocked. It's lost in the mid-card. Welcome to our Clash of Champions review show. We are recording on September 17th, so it is the eve of NXT on USA. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some news about Fox and USA. And, of course, we're also getting very close to AEW on TNT. We'll talk about the last couple of road to AEW on TNTs as well as BTE this week. Lots to talk about, but first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Wednesday, or sometimes we may have a different day there. So if you subscribe, you'll know when the new episode hits the airwaves. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/lostinthemidcard. Also on our Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world, so give it a follow there. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers, and as always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Better than Kofi's going to be in a couple weeks.
Yeah, writing's on the wall there, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems pretty damn obvious to me. It looks like they ain't even going to be a WWE title match in Hell in a Cell at this rate.
There may not be. Well, we already got we already got one Hell in a Cell match locked up, and
two.
Yeah, that's right. Are they going Fiend and Seth inside the Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, that was announced weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's Fiend and Seth in the cell, and it's Becky and Sasha in the cell.
Yep. So good times. And as always, our other co-host, he's on the Twitter at NoOneLikeD, Mr. Daryl Bullock. Daryl, how you doing?
I am fantastic. Great week of wrestling, minus the Clash.
Yeah, Clash was a little subpar, but Raw and SmackDown did make up for it, I think, this week. So let's kick it off with Clash of Champions from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. So you guys agree it was a pretty bland pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
I thought the last couple matches kind of tried to save it in the end, but the first couple hours of that show, rough, man. It was rough.
There were a few bright spots, but yeah, overall it was pretty bland. Then the kickoff show, of course, Cruiserweight Championship was defended on there because it always is. AJ Styles on the kickoff show? Well, really? That's weird. And that match went all of 5 minutes. So Drew Gulak retained the Cruiserweight title, and AJ beat Cedric in 5 minutes. So nothing really to write home about on the kickoff show. The opening contest was the Raw Tag Team Championships. Seth and Braun defending against Ziggler and Rude, and I mean this was pretty much you could see a mile away that Ziggler and Rude were gonna take the titles, and obviously an inadvertent shove as Strowman shoved Rude into Rollins, and that basically led to Rollins eating a glorious DDT. So is the team of Ziggler and Rude kind of growing on you guys a little more as we get a little further along in this partnership, or?
I'm here for it. It's just actually good to see Dolph. I'm actually a fan of Dolph. It's actually good to see him in some type of title picture again.
Yeah, they work really well together. What do you think, Matt?
like I'm happy for Rude because the dude deserves it, but like Ziggler's damaged goods as far as I'm concerned, and it's just if this is a long-term thing and they actually do something with Rude after this, cool. But if this is just we don't have anything for either of these guys, we don't care about our tag team division. Let's just put the titles on them. It's whatever. We'll see where it goes a month or two from now. Right now I'm not sold on it. Like my takeaway is I'm happy for Rude, and I really don't give a shit about anything else.
What did you think about Bailey's heelish tactics, taking out the old turnbuckle padding and making Charlotte eat that steel? Are you liking that?
Probably my favorite finish of the night.
Yeah, I loved it.
Liking heel Bailey so far, huh? I think it's funny that she still has the Bailey buddies because I think it's ironic. Or
it's long overdue.
To her, it's like I'm not any different. It's kind of that's how they're playing it off, and I like that.
I'm gonna be that cool asshole. That's what that is.
Yeah. You're gonna. I wonder if Byron loves those inflatable guys anymore, like he used to. I doubt it.
He does not.
Kind of like when Michael Cole lost his smile when he used to yell, "It's boss time!" Now it's just boss time. Another predictable outcome in the SmackDown tag titles. New Day were clearly kayfabe beaten up at the hands of the Revival and Randy Orton, so they were going into the match kayfabe gimpy, and the Revival took advantage of it and capture the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I remember it wasn't that long ago that we were like, man, they're booking the Revival like shit. Now they're now that AEW is going to TNT, they're no longer being booked like shit, huh?
Pretty much.
I mean, is this their second or third title reign in the year?
I want to say third.
It's pretty crazy. Fire and Desire took on Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. That went for about 8 minutes with Bliss and Cross getting the win. I thought one of the bright spots of the night was Miz and Nakamura. I thought that was a really well done match. Nakamura does come out with the win there, which I think was needed. We kind of thought maybe Miz might be tying Jericho's record, but at the same time, Nakamura's Intercontinental Championship reign has been kind of drab until Sami Zayn entered the picture. So I think a win against Miz was needed to kind of further solidify Nakamura, don't you think?
Yeah, about damn time.
Another guy that was not being used well. So probably the brightest spot of the night was Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. They wrestled for 15 minutes and then had a hell of a brawl all around the arena. This was my favorite moment of the show. What did you guys think about this battle between Sasha and Becky?
You got two of your big match performers just doing their thing, and I enjoyed every little bit of it.
It's the best feud in WWE right now, don't you agree?
Pretty much.
Yeah. It was great. I mean, the match itself was great, and then the DQ finish. Sometimes it sucks to have one of those on a pay-per-view, but when we got what we got afterwards, I was perfectly fine with it. And props to Sasha for doing a little Eddie Guerrero tactic with the old chair.
She lies, she cheats, she steals.
Kofi and Randy for the WWE Championship. We all said Kofi had to win this to basically exorcise the demons of the past 10 years of Randy holding him down, and he did come out on top. But yeah, he ain't gonna be holding that title for those days are counting down now, aren't they, guys?
Mm-hmm. Good night.
If he somehow beats Brock, it ain't gonna happen. But I mean, then you could. I mean, the title reign has been good. It's been longer than I thought it was gonna be. But I mean, there is absolutely no way he gets by Brock, right? No. Fox and Brock. We've known Fox and Brock being paired together for a long time now. That was the expectation that Brock would be on SmackDown, and
yeah, I'm sure Heyman's thrilled.
Yeah, that means Heyman has to do kind of double duty, but at least it ain't back-to-back nights like it's
right.
like it is right now. So, at least he gets a little time off. But Is there any chance in hell Kofi comes out of there champion?
Yeah. No.
Just about
I
that.
would say there's always a chance, but it's not a good one.
Yeah. It's just we've heard so much of Brock being on SmackDown. It's I think it's just inevitable that it happened.
Let's just face it. We all knew that was happening. Period.
Yeah. Yep. It was only a matter of time.
I'm honestly, look, I'll admit to being a little bit surprised by it. I really thought Heyman would fight to keep him on his show, since he's creatively in charge. And honestly, if he's creatively in charge of the show without Brock, I'm honestly surprised they didn't put Bischoff in charge of Raw and Heyman in charge of SmackDown.
Yeah, maybe.
You think they would have just put Heyman on whatever show Brock was going to be on?
Well, maybe
Bischoff bowls on Monday nights.
Maybe yeah, that's it. Well, maybe
Wow.
Heyman didn't want. Maybe Heyman wanted someone else to come up with those decisions. Maybe this is what Heyman wanted.
I mean, it makes sense because that way nobody can say he or kind of accuse him of being biased.
Yeah. This might be what all parties may have wanted, so it is possible. The biggest match of Eric Rowan's career, taking on Roman Reigns in a no DQ match. What do you guys think of Rowan in this pay-per-view setting? I was damn impressed with him on SmackDown tonight for sure, but I think
this is what happens when you actually have your stars, like people that we've seen in the Indies, whether it be Luke Harper, whether it be Eric Rowan, whether it be whoever the fuck, actually show their personalities and be them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, giving Bischoff and Heyman the reins, as we know in the past, not necessarily Bischoff, but more so Heyman, you can actually, how, like the old ECW, how Heyman used to just let people just be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Stone Cold became himself. Sabu, Taz, Sandman, the Dudleys.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you had a guy like Justin Credible be on top of the mountain where you wouldn't expect him to be.
Yeah,
but he got a guy like him over,
He got the cruiserweights over. You mean?
Yep.
I mean, come on now. I mean, Vince has no idea what the fuck that even means.
No.
He just likes muscle and bulge and just gets the hard on off of that.
He has no idea how to book foreign people either, so.
Not at all, because he can't understand what the fuck they're saying in the first goddamn place.
But I'm impressed so far with Rowan in the spotlight. Are you guys on that page?
I'm happy, yes. I'm satisfied.
I think he's doing a hell of a job. He did a hell of a job tonight. I know that much. How surprised were you to see Luke Harper show up?
I wasn't surprised at all.
We all know Luke Harper wants out, but is this kind of...
that's not happening.
Is this kind of his idea to kind of help Rowan get over a little more by being kind of the guy to back him up? You think that's kind of what Harper wants to do here?
I don't think Harper really has a choice.
Nah, not at all.
They called him and said, "You're coming back to work. This is what you're doing."
Might as well do something to suit you.
Yeah, it's a whole shitty situation because I mean we thought he was getting pushed with the Wyatt family. Randy Orton was a part of the Wyatt family and all that, and we thought Harper was gonna get pushed to that main event spot, and it never happened. But that was a hell of a surprise for me to see Harper show up there, though. And the Universal Championship match was pretty damn good between Seth and Braun. It was the right amount of time, about 10 minutes, about half the time of Kofi and Randy. Much like Seth and Brock, this was basically... They just used the same kind of formula that worked, and they put on a good match in the main event, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
The crowd was booing because they probably thought, Jesus, Strowman loses the title shot again. Do you think that was where the boos were coming from?
I'm not sure.
I would definitely think so. I think people are tired of Braun not getting his due.
Yeah.
I think people have essentially seen their fill of Rollins. If they think Rollins is going to get cheered against the Fiend in Hell in a Cell in a few
No.
weeks, they got
Hell no.
they got another thing coming. It's not going to. They'd had a better chance of getting Braun cheered.
Yeah.
I love Seth.
They're going to be in trouble in a few weeks if they're expecting Rollins to get the face reaction in this match.
Well, I think they know that already because Monday Night Raw.
Better damn well hope they do.
Everybody was chanting "Yowie Wowie" while Rollins was on the microphone. So
you guys. I think you guys both agree with me when I say that Bray is probably in the company right now the most creative talent, mentally and physically, on the roster.
That's the best thing going in wrestling today.
Yes,
it is this whole Firefly Funhouse Fiend type of deal.
It's pure creativity, and I love to see it.
Yeah. We have that marquee category of the best thing going today, and we've had the Bullet Club win, we've had Broken Matt Hardy win. I can't remember what last year's was off the top of my head, but this year it's Bray Wyatt, and it's great. We'll talk about Raw and SmackDown, the fallout from Clash here at the end of the show, but let's shift gears to AEW. TNT, it's close, man. 2 weeks from today, if you're listening to the podcast on Wednesday, the road to TNT. We got an episode on the 11th, but also they snuck in another one tonight. So we've got a couple of road to TNTs that they discussed. They did a great little piece on Sammy Guevara, kind of getting you more familiar with him. If you're not really a BTE guy, kind of gives you an understanding of where he is coming from, as he's probably wrestling his biggest match of his career against Cody Rhodes, which is the kickoff to the show that both Daryl and Matt will be in attendance for live on October 2nd. And it's the biggest match of Sammy's career, but Cody can't lose. But Cody said it on, I think it was on the same edition of Road to AEW on TNT. If Cody loses that match, he's basically writing himself out of that championship picture against Jericho. So right there, they're kind of booking it to where it seems obvious, but at the same time, they're kind of giving you a sense of doubt that maybe this big upset could kick off AEW on TNT. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but you have Cody talking. Cody has got so many hats he's wearing right now in AEW, and he admits to Tony Schiavone himself that if he loses, he's basically writing himself out of that picture. So do you think maybe there's a major shakeup that kicks off AEW on TNT?
If he does, if Cody wins, it won't be clean, in my opinion.
But here's the problem. The booking at this point is painfully predictable. If you really want to start your show out by shocking people, let Sammy win.
Yeah,
right.
Let Sammy win.
Sammy hasn't won a match yet, has he?
It's not even like he has to hit him with his fucking finish or something. Just have him hit a
roll
roll-up or a small package or something,
right,
and get the win. Shock everybody right off the bat. All of a sudden, oh my God, the AEW title picture is in flux. Full gear. The main event is up in the air.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're gonna do?
Because Cody's on film saying, "I'm not in that match if I lose to Sammy." So,
and he also said if Jericho loses, Jericho's defending the title in like the middle of October at one of the on one of the TNT shows, and he said if he loses, then because we don't know who his opponent's gonna be yet.
Yeah.
Jericho loses, the match is changed.
Mm-hmm.
Change shit.
Card subject to change.
Yes, actually utilize the card subject to change storyline and shock people. Remember, look, one of my favorite things about WWF during the Attitude Era was the slogan that they used in the 90s. Anything could happen in the World Wrestling Federation.
Mm-hmm.
And there were at times you really and truly believed that. And you tuned in because you knew that at any point, Taka Michinoku would get that win over Triple H. It just these ridiculous things that you never would expect to happen.
Like when Maven eliminated The Undertaker in the Rumble.
Or when Big Daddy Cool Diesel beat Bob Backlund in Madison Square Garden.
In 8 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, we need that back in professional wrestling. I'm so sick of tuning into stuff.
That you know what the fuck's going to happen. I think that's my biggest.
So I'm almost convinced now that Sammy's going to beat Cody to kick off the TNT.
I'm definitely not even close to being convinced. But I would absolutely be thrilled. If that's how they kicked off the show. Because pro wrestling needs the unpredictability factor back, and it's really it's not there right now. So be hopeful, and that's what I'm going to try to be right now. So
you got to think that that's what they've got up their sleeve, is they know the WWE can be so damn predictable at times, and it has been for many years, that maybe they are making it look predictable only to pull the rug out, and maybe so. I mean, we'll find.
It would surely be nice, because I still feel the creative booking in All Out was awful, and we could really use a good month of unpredictable booking from AEW on TNT going into full gear.
Yes, we need the swerve.
And yeah, after that, they talk about the other the women's title match that's coming up, Riho and Nyla Rose. That's what I'm not 100% either way. I could see either woman walking out as champion here. I'm not fully convinced that there's an obvious answer to that one. What do you guys? At first, I thought maybe Nyla Rose, but now part of me, starting to second guess and think it's Riho. Where are you guys sitting on that right now?
I still think I still think Nyla Rose takes it at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, takes it at home. See, they do they do what the WWE doesn't do. You know, WWE screws people at home.
And that's exactly why I said that.
Yeah,
they do.
Riho is Omega's chosen one. And I hear she's moving to the United States to do the AEW thing full time.
She is.
Yeah, I heard that.
So I'm on it. I will be surprised if she doesn't walk out as the first champion.
Great conversation between Tony Schiavone and Cody Rhodes there, as I brought up some
Schiavone!
of that. I brought up some of that a little bit ago, but the end of the interview was great, where Cody asked Tony a question: will we see Tony and Jim Ross call matches together again?
By God!
I don't understand why he asked that when they already confirmed it at StarCast.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what was the point of that?
He just wanted to give you a wink and nod and say it's gonna happen.
I just thought it was dumb. Like, why say something like that when everybody that's following it already fucking knows that it's been announced that it's happening?
Yeah. Then a little early this week, Road to AEW Episode 3 came out tonight, on Tuesday night.
I've seen it.
I'm just going to comb over it real quick because it's a little shorter than the last one. Nice little piece on Riho and her journey to the United States and her expectations going into the match with Nyla Rose. Very, very cool little piece on her there to kick things off. Then we go to Tony Schiavone. They kind of do a little wide shot of the control center now. That control center is looking nice, even though it's all green screen, but it's still pretty badass looking. As Tony Schiavone talks about October 2nd. Of course, we got Cody and Sammy that we talked about, Riho and Nyla Rose. Chris Jericho and two mystery opponents taking on the Elite. At this point, I don't know who those mystery partners are going to be.
Still seemingly seems like LAX.
I don't think it is.
I hope it's not, but I'm just telling you what it seems like.
I'm with you.
And then just recently announced MJF taking on Brandon Cutler, and Tony Schiavone interviews MJF, and MJF learns who he's facing on October 2nd and literally pissed himself almost. MJF is so good. I fucking love MJF.
He's better than you. You know it.
Him and Tony Schiavone, their chemistry back and forth is pretty damn good. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I like them on BTE this week.
Yeah,
shit,
so
JF can talk to a daggone plain glass wall and get a reaction.
So you'll enjoy Road to AEW on TNT as they have yet another interaction this week. As he Tony goes, really? I got to interview this guy. Some good stuff. And MJF, of course, being MJF, talking shit about Brandon Cutler and everything, and after he stopped laughing about who he was facing. So that took up most of this week's road to AEW on TNT, and then Tony Schiavone unveiled the brackets for the tournament. 7 teams are in the tournament. The last team in was the Jurassic Express. There was a vote on the Twitter, which I believe about 18,000 people voted on, and overwhelmingly the Jurassic Express defeated Angelico and Jack Evans. I believe it was 83% to 17 for the vote. We already know that Young Bucks will take on Private Party. On the left side of the bracket, along with them, is the Lucha Brothers against the Jurassic Express. Then when we go to the right side of the bracket, of course, the Dark Order has a bye, and the other first-round matchup is Best Friends against SCU.
SCU!
I've already still said Private Party's beating Bucks, so then that puts me at Lucha Brothers beating Jurassic Express. So then we get Lucha Brothers and Private Party. Yes, please. And I think the Best Friends are going to upset SCU and defeat the Dark Order. I think we got Private Party and Best Friends in the finals, and I'm taking Private Party to go all the way. That's my bracket prediction, guys. Matt, where are you sitting at with the tag team tournament? What are your thoughts?
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
This is the first I'm seeing the brackets.
Okay.
So,
If I could run the matches in order.
I've got it right in front of me. You're putting me right on the spot because I'm literally just looking at this as you brought it up. God, I definitely don't want the Dark Order in the finals. That much is certain. I don't want to see the Best Friends in the Dark Order again. We've already seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So I put SCU through. I put SCU over the Dark Order too. I put SCU in the finals against Private Party, and I put Private Party over.
Okay. Yeah, like I said in the prediction for All Out, I was like, whoever wins that match is whoever gets that bye is going to lose. So I stand by that. D, what do you think about the how the brackets shake out?
I'm with Matt on it. I think it's SCU and Private Party. It just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you put SCU, the veteran team, per se, with a new up-and-coming, new age Young Bucks, and you know they can create magic in the ring for the titles. I'm totally with it.
Uh-huh. Yep. So, but we're all on the same page that Private Party is going to take home the titles, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see your point now in SCU, and that's really the only thing we're really differing on. And God knows we aren't going to get Bucks and Lucha Brothers again. So.
God, no, I hope not.
Yeah, I absolutely, positively do not want that again.
I fully expect Private Party to upset the Bucks to really set. Like I said that on the show a month ago.
They love the Bucks love Private Party,
Yeah.
so you can already see that they're going to put them over.
Yeah. I don't think as much as I like the Jurassic Express, I don't think they'll beat I think the Lucha Brothers will get a win in the tournament, and then lose to Private Party. We'll see. Episode 170 of Being the Elite. We start off with MJF and all of his nameplates. He is the salt of the earth. He is not only the salt of the earth, he is a junior executive vice president, and he's Cody's best friend. And so he's sitting at Cody's desk, and Tony Schiavone walks in and threatens to call Cody. MJF claims that Cody gave him the okay to use the desk when Cody's not there. But Tony threatened MJF, and so MJF gets out. And what does Tony Schiavone do? He sits at the desk and pulls out his own nameplate. And on that nameplate, head slapdick. I don't know where that came from. Matt, do you have any idea?
No, but I laughed.
Tony Schiavone got one over on MJF, and the world loved him for it. SCU, apparently Frankie's telling the story about when he got the case of Snickers, but we missed the whole story. Are we ever going to get that story?
Nope.
But the main thing here was SCU talking who should represent SCU in the tag team tournament. Everybody came with valid points. CD said we should go with the youth because of who's in the tournament. Scorpio says we should go with the experience because you guys have won titles before. And Kaz says you should go with CD and Scorpio because nobody's seen that team together.
No, you haven't.
Especially, and he said on BT, especially the roster of AEW has not seen that team together. D, what team do you think should represent SCU in the tag team tournament?
My heart says the Addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Daniels and Kazarian. But my brain is intrigued by Scorpio and CD.
Yeah, because it's never happened. Yeah.
I'm very interested to see. We know what CD can do with Kazarian. We've seen that for years. We've seen what Kazarian can do with Scorpio Sky. But like you said, we haven't seen Sky and CD. And I think it'll be a nice little blend. And I think Scorpio will probably be the on the right end of the hot tag. So I can I'm definitely here for it.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt? Do you agree with that?
I still think you keep Daniels as the singles guy, and I do Kaz and Scorpio. But I wouldn't mind seeing Kaz and Daniels again too. I mean, I don't think you can really go wrong either way. So
yeah, I think they're gonna go with I felt like they're gonna go with the new look, CD and Scorpio. I think so. I'm with Daryl on that one. Pretty cool conversation. I thought it was a pretty damn cool little strategy meeting with SCU, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I love any segment with SCU. I'm enjoying, regardless.
The Bucks talking about how they're going to do a meet and greet in California for free at a Cracker Barrel. Free meet and greet plus a free hardcover children's book. Can't beat that.
Where at?
Let's see. Victorville, California.
I'm about to say, don't do that shit in Baltimore.
No. It's in their backyard. A week from Wednesday, Victorville, California, Cracker Barrel, 2 to 4 p.m. on a Wednesday. So sneak out of work early.
Nice.
Then the Bucks go visit Brandon Cutler at his house. Check out his new house. He's 2-contract Cutler now, so he's got a better house. The Bucks didn't come to talk about BT or any of his fancy technology. They came about the other contract he signed, and that's to be a wrestler. And the fact that he gets his hands on MJF, Cutler, very excited about that. I would love to see Cutler beat him too. I mean, because MJF could take a loss. He could take a loss. Probably ain't gonna happen, but he could take a loss. He wouldn't be hurt. He wouldn't be hurt by it. And it'd be kind of cool to see Brandon kind of get over after all the shit that he's talked.
They even giving him hell.
BT mailbag was a question for Frankie Avalon, and then Kenny Omega rambling. Kenny is gone, man. Kenny is gone. And then the Bucks says, we can't use this, can we? But the cameras kept rolling, and Kenny, while he looked sane on what he submitted to the Bucks, we found out he's still not quite sane yet, is he?
No.
I'm interested in this Kenny Omega. This is kind of a loose cannon. It's like kind of like, is he trying to turn into Moxley? Is he trying to get on that crazy level of Moxley because he's in his head? Do you think this is where this is all coming from, or?
I think he's just going batshit crazy.
To me, this isn't something you should have done with Omega right at the beginning of the launch of your company.
Yep.
With a whole bunch of new eyeballs seeing him for the first time. This is something that could have been done 6 months to a year down the line. I think everybody that has heard the stories and the praise of Kenny Omega that gets to see him for the first time is possibly going to be quite disappointed in what they end up seeing. I mean, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. I think they're making a mistake with how they're handling Kenny, and I think it can come back and really bite them in the ass if they're not careful.
Well, we'll see we'll see where it goes on TV. The TV is going to be the thing where the most eyeballs are going to be. This is for us hardcore fans.
Have you seen the logo for the new show?
I have not.
No, because I don't even think they've officially announced the name yet.
Yeah, there's a trade.
It's Wednesday Night Dynamite.
No, it's actually.
Well, I mean, we've heard that months ago, but I mean, we haven't had an actual confirmation of that.
No, it's not. It's not going to be. It's not going to be Wednesday Night Dynamite. I have it later on here. Let me see if I can find it.
If you have it later on, let's cut to it now because I don't know what you're talking about.
AEW has trademarked All Elite Wrestling Dynamite. That's likely the title of their TNT series. So All Elite Wrestling : Dynamite is what was trademarked. Yeah. And that was announced by...
it's still just Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Well, but it's not called Wednesday Night Dynamite. It's All Elite Wrestling Dynamite.
I just sent you guys the logo that I've seen.
On Twitter or Skype?
Twitter.
But yeah,
no freaking way.
Yeah.
No.
Sent to
that's
me.
Fake.
That is.
I hope it is. I really hope it is.
That's so fucking fake.
That's fake. That's just
that's
Nitro.
That's a Photoshop Nitro.
Yeah. Dude, I really hope it is.
That's
honestly.
Fake.
There's no way for. No. No. No.
It's fake.
They can't do that.
No, it's fake.
And that better be fucking fake.
And the trademark does not say Wednesday Night Dynamite. It says All Elite Wrestling Dynamite.
Yeah, same shit, but
yeah, that's really the same shit. So,
but I hope that's not the permanent logo. I really don't.
No, it ain't. That's just Nitro. That's completely Nitro, just photoshopped. There's no way it's gonna be that.
I really hope not.
That would be the dumbest thing in the world if that was.
That would be the most corniest shit ever.
That is not going to be the logo. I can almost guarantee you. The second week of SmackDown on Fox it was announced that the WWE Draft will be coming back starting on October 11th, which is the second edition of Fox, and conclude on the following Monday of Raw on October 14th, as there will be a solid brand split and everything like that. So I'm guessing it's going to be all hands on deck for the first Fox show, and then we split up the roster. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, you see all three of us actually, all three of us love football. We've been watching football for the past 2 weeks, and you see that the advertisement heavy on it. And even the commentators on whatever game that you're watching is mentioning WWE.
Yep.
Like I watched the Eagles game, I was at the game last week, but I ended up rewatching it again. And I already know that one of the Eagles defensive ends loves WWE. They actually mentioned that in the commentary as well, just to promote WWE on Fox. Shit's crazy.
Some updates here for WWE on Fox. So there's going to be a special before the October 4th debut of SmackDown on Fox. PW Insider has confirmed there will be a 1-hour special called SmackDown's Greatest Hits. It'll air on Fox Friday, September 27th, a week from Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. The special is to preview, of course, the upcoming show coming to Fox. So that'll be here a week from Friday, which is basically a week before the show kicks off. The planned Fox Sports 1 talk show will be taped weekly from the Fox studios in L.A. The plan is to have a panel discussing WWE issues with Renee Young as the head host for the series. Word within WWE is that Kathy Kelly will also be working on that Fox Sports 1 series, splitting her time between Fox and NXT going forward. The working title for this Fox Sports 1 series is called WWE Backstage. So that looks like that's going to be the title going forward. And for those that were wondering, yes, the graphics on Raw were upside down on purpose last night. And Bobby Lashley tweeting out a tease that he's returning to the WWE. Tomorrow is NXT on USA, and what do you guys think is going to happen? I think we're all in agreement that Roddy Strong's going to defeat Velveteen, and the Undisputed Era is going to be holding all the gold.
I'm totally here for it.
Who do you guys think comes out of the Fatal 4-Way for the women for Baszler's next challenger?
It's hard to say because I want Io to win, but they haven't done shit with Bianca, so I'm just not. I'm just waiting to see. It's one of those matches where I'm just like, I can't pick anybody. I'm just waiting to see.
Yeah, and obviously we're not done with Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler either.
Right. So it's that pretty much what Matt touched on earlier, that element of surprise.
Would be nice.
Matt, who do you think wins that match? We got Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, Bianca
Probably
Belair.
Candice.
And then a street fight, Matt Riddle taking on Killian Dane. And programming note, since Suits is still on the air for a couple more weeks, the first hour of NXT will air live on USA, the second hour live on the network. Both hours will be available on the network the following day.
If I want to see Suits, I'll go look at my fucking closet.
Honestly, that series is ending anyway, so
good.
I guess it made USA a lot of money. So
worse than burn notice.
Newsweek. Triple H sat down with Newsweek to discuss WWE's transition to the USA Network, and he was asked whether he was prepared for NXT to move to the USA Network and when was it confirmed. Triple H said it's one of those things when you're doing it, it's taking forever. Like I said, we've been talking about NXT moving to cable in a bigger way for a year and a half, 2 years now. It's been brought up. We've had people talk to us about it. The timing wasn't right because AEW wasn't coming about. Then the stars started to align with AEW, and but it still felt like it took a long period of time. Then suddenly it got the call and said, hey, here we are and it's happening. And Triple H said, oh my God, I wasn't ready for this quite yet, but I'm thrilled to do it. The talent is chomping at the bit to get out there. Not only are they happy for the opportunity, but they get to show the world what they can do and who they are and keep that NXT brand out there for everyone to see. He was asked on how this changes NXT creative. Hopefully it doesn't, but he goes, in that manner, it's not really going to change how we approach the writing of the program. I don't intend for it to speed things up. I don't intend for it all of a sudden you're going to see the same talent more often because they're on the same show and it's 2 hours instead of 1. I see it as opening a door. The biggest challenge for me the last 2 years or so has been not having time with the show being 1 hour, not having the ability to get talent out there, to continue to tell a story that needed to be out there, and to continue to tell a story that will take you to the next takeover. But to have the ability and the opening to say, yeah, I want this person on TV, I want to debut this talent, I want to move this person into something big, and you just run out of time and space. This really opens up an opportunity and will allow for much more diverse grouping of talent to be shown. As for takeovers going forward as standalone events, Triple H said, I think you'll see some changes there. But the other thing I don't want to do is flood the fan base or overexpose the brand either. I want things to build organically, and we have success. And we have had success. We have the formula, the pacing, the timing, and when takeovers take place, this allows us more opportunities for a slower build. Then whenever takeover's done, we get a little bit of relief to promote the next thing. Whether NXT on USC means main roster talents can move to NXT more freely, Triple H said, yeah, I think you'll see that Raw will become much more distinctly its own brand as well as SmackDown on Fox. And NXT will be its own. The ability as time moves on for people to move from Raw to SmackDown, NXT to Raw, but also Raw or SmackDown to NXT. NXT UK will sit under that NXT banner as well, probably 205 Live as well, to breathe some life into that a little bit. It creates just 3 distinct brands for the talent over the course of their career, which is hopefully long, where they can migrate from one to the other, be reinvigorated, and have fresh starts, and have longer, more meaningful, lucrative careers. And so he mentioned 205 Live. So they said, what is the future of 205 Live? And Triple H said, you'll start to see 205 Live begin to, I think it's always existed as an island unto itself. And it's kind of been lost in limbo. Doesn't help when it's on the kickoff show every week or every month. You'll begin to see it move more towards the NXT banner with the talent there. And we have a lot of talent for them to begin to compete either open or against anyone in the Cruiserweight division, but have that title sit under the NXT brand is more meaningful. It creates more opportunities for more people. So kind of a behind-the-scenes insider look of what Triple H is thinking of the brand. You guys like what he had to say?
Absolutely, it answered the question for me that's been in my head. Because you're moving NXT to cable television, just like Raw and SmackDown, just like Raw and SmackDown pay-per-views or main roster pay-per-views, they're on pay-per-view as well as the network. Would you have NXT on pay-per-view as well as the network? And that answered my question, whereas he's going to slow walk it to the degree of kind of keep it to the network, strictly to the network, the takeovers per se, because them being on cable TV, it'll pretty much say, okay, now you have to buy the network to watch a takeover after we have hyped up and this product is as good as what it is. So he answered my question with a lot of things.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It almost seems like, did it almost seem like to you that he's saying that 205 Live now kind of might become that underground NXT brand eventually?
It needs to be.
I mean,
like you said, the NXT has been the fan reaction has been organic. Mm-hmm. To follow the same formula.
And they've been having tremendous matches. So.
Mm-hmm. But people are not watching it because they either have when is 205 come on after SmackDown?
Right when we're taping.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people watch SmackDown, and mostly kids are watching SmackDown. Let's just say probably about 65% of the audience is kids, and half of them are in bed. You know what I mean? So it actually will help it out a little bit as well.
Me personally, I lost a lot of interest in that brand when they took away Ollie, Alexander, and Murphy off the show at practically the same freaking time. Like, they really killed my reason. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Gulak and all.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, they kind of killed my reasons to, like, boot up that show and watch it when we're done recording on Tuesday nights. I just, I don't feel the need to do it. It's nothing against the roster that they have left, but, my favorite people that I liked to see perform on that brand were taken away.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to think about this, too. Think about this. When it comes down to when they're ready out of NXT, who could migrate to 205 and rejuvenate it? You got Swerve. You got I can't think of what. I
think he was already on there the other week. I think he's already on 205 Live.
See, he's been on there already, yeah.
But look at it. But you got Trevor Lee. You got ACH. I mean, you got a bunch of people who could migrate over and rejuvenate that brand. They have their talent in the Performance Center is pretty deep, and there's people that we do know, there's people we don't know as well. So only thing I'm worried about is the exposure that they'll have.
Yeah, be interesting to see what happens.
Honestly, me personally, I shut down the entire show and I just moved the Cruiserweight division to NXT on Wednesday nights. But that's just me.
It almost sounds like
that'd be smart. You got 2 hours.
It almost sounds like Triple H is thinking about that in that interview with Newsweek.
I mean, but he did think about it when 205 just came out. Half of those folks in the Cruiserweight Classic were on NXT
because it was the only outlet to be on.
Absolutely.
After,
and when you
got
got
the tournament,
when you got the geriatric in charge, then those folks. I mean, the geriatric pretty much did the same thing that Bischoff did to Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, La Parka in WCW days. That's why they went to ECW.
And I mean, Triple H is overseeing that brand anyways, so.
Yeah, so might as well. Why not?
Yeah.
You got an extra hour. Showcase it.
What do you guys think of Anthem taking majority ownership over Access TV?
That scares me.
I think it's a bad move for Access TV. Because Anthem has already proved how terrible they are running other companies. So
fuck that out.
Yeah, look. The only thing this is good for is Impact.
Yeah.
This isn't good for WoW, which honestly could die a slow death for all I care anyway. This isn't good for New Japan's long-term future on Access when their deal's up, which I believe
January.
I think it's January of 2021.
No, 2020.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it's 2021.
Looking at the Mike Johnson article right now. Currently, New Japan has a deal through January
I don't know. Mike
2020.
Johnson was rolling at least 4 or 5 times today. So,
Oops.
do we really need to take his word for it right now?
Well, we usually do.
Heyman wasn't at SmackDown. Kevin Owens wasn't at SmackDown. Blah 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 blah. Just he got a lot of shit wrong today. So I'm a little
Well, this is from
sorry, Mike.
This is from this is from the 11th, so maybe it wasn't wrong on the 11th.
I heard 2021.
Yeah, this says 2020 on this article.
As when their deal was up. If it's 2020, that's even worse news for
it's 4 months
New
from
Japan.
now.
Yeah, that could be disastrous. And if they lose all other wrestling on Access besides fucking Impact, it's a giant loss all around for everybody that's not Impact.
Fuck that out.
Yeah.
Seeing if Satin mentioned anything about when the contract's up. Doesn't seem so. But yeah, that's that's some strange news, isn't it?
How many networks has Impact been on?
Oh God, how many weird networks have they been on? Like,
I think this would be number 6 if we're counting the Fox Sports 1 era.
I mean, this is the first network that we've heard of in without, all the other deals they've made. We've never heard of the channel before.
Right.
Destination America, never heard of that.
They went from Fox Sports 1 to Spike.
I remember when they were on
to
Spike. That's when I first saw them.
Destination America to Destination America went to Pop, right? Or was there something in between there?
Yeah, I think it went from Destination America to Pop, and then
then Pop to Pursuit,
Trivial Pursuit Network,
and then Pursuit to Access. So that is the journey of TNA.
Wow.
Yep.
Ed Nordholm on the future of WoW and New Japan on Access TV said the following. Anthem has been public that it has not made any decisions regarding current programming. We have been longtime broadcast partners with TV Asahi for New Japan Pro Wrestling on the Fight Network and hope to continue to build that relationship. We are in the middle of a season with WoW and about to tape another series of episodes next week, so there's no reason to make any decisions there in the short term. We are looking forward to getting to know them better. Says no cred Ed. Oh, just when everybody started praising Big Cass, it kind of went downhill this weekend at the Wrestle Pro event, which was the farewell for owner Pat Buck, as Pat Buck is signing on to be a producer with the WWE. Multiple sources confirmed that Cass, who was booked in a surprise entrant in a battle royale, was acting aggressive and erratic backstage over the course of the evening, leading to several incidents and his expulsion from the Rahway Rec Center in Rahway, New Jersey. At one point, Cass confronted Joey Janela in a threatening manner. And it appeared that was just the beginning of it, and it just became incident after incident throughout the night. And so it kind of marred Pat Buck's farewell there. Joey Janela did comment on the matter on Twitter and said, not going to elaborate on this whole deal, besides it was probably the most bizarre situation I've ever seen, let alone be a part of in a wrestling locker room in 15 years. Everything was cordial and friendly Friday, and I hope the dude gets back on the right track. And then today, Big Cass issued an apology and stated, "I've been very honest with my past struggles. It's been an ongoing battle on Saturday night. I obviously let my demons get the better of me, and I ruined an important night for a really great guy in an unfortunate series of events. I've worked incredibly hard to get where I am and even harder to overcome my ongoing battle with depression, but I will work my absolute hardest to right the wrongs of Saturday night and apologize to Kevin Matthews, Pat Buck, Joey Janela, and the entire WrestlePro locker room and all parties involved from the bottom of my heart." Crazy situation, guys. Maybe he believed the rumors that he was going to NXT. Kurt,
I think he was just drunk out of his mind.
Yeah,
I think he was drunk. That's what it
Drunk
sounded
or on
like.
drunk or on drugs, or
both.
or or combination of the two. Did you at least he put out a statement.
Yeah, because
So-
Janela said he was fine when they wrestled
day
the match
before.
the day before,
Yeah,
and then
Friday,
after he was acting crazy.
Yep. They said everything was cordial on Friday. And some switch flipped, apparently. And
Enzo.
No, it just wasn't
I'm
Enzo.
just-
Enzo was at the show the day before.
I'm just,
yeah.
You gonna run down the apology, or
I just read it.
are you the entire apology?
I read all of it except for I didn't read the last paragraph where he's saying he's going to get help and with friends and family.
Okay.
But I read.
I think that's important.
Well, let me get back to it here.
I think that's honest. I thought that was the most important part of the statement, is the fact that he's admitting to the fact that he's finally going to go get some help.
I'm getting help from family and friends as we speak, and getting professional help in the near future, and ask all to please respect my privacy in the meantime. When and if I reemerge as a public figure, it'll be in good faith, and I hope to inspire those who struggle with the same mental health issues I do to seek the help they need. If Tyson Fury can do it, so can I. And remember, I ain't dead yet. Neither are you. So that was the full statement from Big Cass, who he posted it through Enzo Amore's social media accounts.
I think it's an important message, and especially anybody suffering from mental health issues right now and fuckery. I think that honestly, I think the second paragraph was so much more important than the first. I mean, it's great that he apologized, but admitting that you have a problem and going to try to get fixed and get the help.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he does. Hopefully it works out for him, because I mean, he transformed himself into great shape once again and generated buzz and amongst the independent wrestling scene. So yeah, just an unfortunate situation from this past weekend. It is official. WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle is now working full-time as a producer for the Raw brand. He's been shadowing other producers to learn the role in the past few months, and he was producing Raw's taping at Madison Square Garden and officially started a few weeks back.
You mean he's producing a show with a broken freaking neck?
Yeah, damn right. WWE snatches up a former Impact announcer. Mackenzie Mitchell has now signed with the WWE.
Great signing.
Yeah, she was pretty good on that.
So much better than a towel. Like I remember talking about on the show what a big mistake Impact was making when they started using Alicia over her.
Yeah. Yeah, because her time on Impact was pretty short, wasn't it?
Alicia?
Yeah, no, Mackenzie's.
No, Mackenzie was there a lot longer than Alicia was overall. But they transitioned them out for some reason and brought a tout in, and there's got to be something wrong with her, like her attitude or whatever, because Impact brought her in for a cup of coffee and she disappeared. AEW brought her in for a cup of coffee and she disappeared. There's got to be more to that.
Yeah, she might be on some stuck up shit.
Yeah, than people realize.
Yeah.
She might believe her own hype.
You're good, but you
so.
And the WWE.
She definitely ain't great.
WWE also made another hire, a guy I'm really familiar with through his work with Bleacher Report, through his fantasy football, but he's also House of Hardcore announcer. Matt Camp is officially on with WWE
Really?
as well.
Yeah, he's done a bunch. He's done a bunch of stuff with Busted Open
Yeah.
over the last few years, but he's not going to be doing that no more.
Nope, I've known him. I've known him and followed him on Twitter for years for fantasy football, and so it's pretty cool to see that that he's getting a chance with the WWE. Session Moth Martina has decided to sign a full-time deal with Ring of Honor, and she'll be appearing for the company very shortly. Her deal with Stardom is going to also continue, so ROH will allow her to work with that and other independent dates in Europe as well. Martina was a name. She's a former ICW Women's Champion, a name the WWE had been pursuing recently, offering a contract for NXT UK, but she turned the deal down and decided to sign with ROH instead. According to Mike Johnson, PW Insider, there's been talk that the tiered approach for the WWE Network will launch in January of 2020. And there's expectations that Evolve, ICW, Progress, and maybe Chikara will be a part of those tiered spots there as well. They've also reached out to some companies, some lucha promotions in Mexico as well. So what do you think about the tiered idea of the network? Will you pay an extra $5 for that? Or just stick with the 10?
Not for what I'm hearing right now, no.
Yeah, I'm good.
Like definitely nothing that makes me want to spend another $5 a month.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're gonna have to put forth a lot more than the rumors of what they're offering now, for me to even slightly consider wanting to pay for a higher tier of their network.
And hell, even the lower tier sounded interesting because you still get like the big 4 pay-per-view. It's almost like a casual fans tier. You still get the library, and you get the big 4 pay-per-views. I mean, that's a pretty good deal too. You know, I think I'll stick with the $10 as well.
Yeah, same here.
Pete Dunne is in the process of moving to the United States full-time. Expect him to be a big part of NXT going forward as they launch with the USA Network. Also, is expected that Toni Storm will be featured in NXT going forward as well after she lost the title in Cardiff.
Tony.
Such a beautiful woman.
Matt is happy for that news, isn't he?
Tony.
I can't wait to see her on NXT. Ratings last week's SmackDown fell a little bit to 2.061 million, and last night's Raw a little bit of an uptick up to 2.272 after suffering badly last week on the debut of Monday Night Football. But I wonder if the Browns handling the Jets kind of helped WWE a little bit, as Hour 3 was quite a bit better than last week's 1.8 million. Royal Rumble tickets are available this Friday, September 20th, as they will be continuing the tradition of baseball stadiums and going to Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. That's going to be January 26th. So those tickets go on sale this Friday if you are planning to head to the Rumble down in Texas.
I am.
I went last year in Phoenix. That was a hell of a time.
You were my motivation.
How mad are you? How mad are you? You're going down there and you ain't even getting an NXT show.
What do you mean?
They're not doing Takeover.
Huh?
They're doing Takeover's going to be standalone now.
Yeah, you're getting some stupid Worlds Collide show instead.
I don't want no fucking Worlds Collide. I don't want to see a goddamn Takeover.
Yeah.
New Takeover Royal Rumble weekend, my friend.
Yeah, that Takeovers are now on their own.
Rumored to be that they'll be happening on the same nights as AEW pay-per-views.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Shit, I might as well travel to go to a damn Takeover show. I don't want to see no Rumble and no damn... Nah, man. Nah, I'm good.
You not going to the Rumble now? Are you backing out?
Yeah, no, I gotta talk.
Breaking
I
news.
gotta talk to the board.
Good
Board
thing.
of trustees.
Good thing
We
we.
need the breaking news. We
Good
need
thing
that breaking news audio clip that Busted Open uses.
Good thing we brought that story up. Saved Daryl some cash on Friday.
Yeah, like I gotta talk to the board of directors.
No takeover, bro. It's out.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, as long as you know me, Matt, and as long as you know me, JB, like that's usually the highlight of my weekend.
Yeah, honestly, for me, anytime I've done one of those big weekends, the NXT event itself was always my favorite part.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Glad I told you. I thought you already knew.
Nah.
Yeah, dude. It's no takeover Royal Rumble weekend.
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah.
Live reaction
somebody.
right here in Lost in the Midcard.
New Japan Pro Wrestling has announced its first talents for the November California events. November 9th in San Jose, California at the Civic Center. IWGP Champion Kazuchika Okada, Kota Ibushi, Jay White, Junior Heavyweight Champion Will Ospreay, Jushin Thunder Liger, Tetsuya Naito, Sanada Evil, Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, and Chase Owens are confirmed. The 11/11 event in Los Angeles will have the same crew except Okada, Ospreay, and Liger will not be in LA for those dates.
So did you guys see that New Japan released the meet and greets for New York, Boston, and Philly?
Good news or bad?
Well, whoever's going to the Philly show, like folks like myself, are going to be highly disappointed.
Oh boy.
So they announced.
Oh boy.
So they
I
announced.
still a rant coming on. I'm gonna build. We gotta hold on, Darryl. We gotta build this. We gotta build this.
Give me a second. Let me pull my content up real quick. Give me a
Well,
second.
you pull the content up, and I'm gonna build you up here.
All right.
Look, Darryl.
Build you up or agitate him?
Okay, before you build me up, I'm gonna say this. Real quick. Before the Charlotte shows, I appreciate Ring of Honor and I appreciate other wrestling companies that do in the spirit of the meet and greets. Now, with New Japan being overseas, it's, you really don't get to see certain people, on the regular. So the reason why I'm about to go on this rant, well, I'll just say this before Matt builds me up. The meet and greets are minimal. You're not meeting a Naito. You're not meeting a Gorillas of Destiny.
You're meeting Jay White.
Shit, I'd be surprised if you're fucking meeting him. You might meet some guy named Jay wearing white.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah. So, with that being said, Matthias, please proceed with the build-up because I'm pulling up my information right now.
Darryl loves New Japan. Darryl loves certain superstars and wrestlers in New Japan. And for some reason, it just seems like at every turn, any company that he's going to witness these performers and meet these people, they're fucking him over. And this earliest memory would be Best in the World in Baltimore a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When he wanted to
forgot
meet,
you were there. Yes.
When you wanted to meet, what was the group? I can't blank.
LIJ.
Yeah, you wanted to meet LIJ, and we get up to the front of the line to buy the tickets, and they're like, nope, you can't buy tickets. Yet then when we get in there with the freaking meet and greet, they're sitting there doing shit. Like
doing a fucking thing.
It didn't make any sense whatsoever. I don't understand it. And then we had the situation in the Carolinas, and he got dicked over again. And he's like, you know what? Nah, they're coming to Philly. They're not gonna dick me this time. I'm gonna finally get to see Naito live. It's gonna be good.
And they slapped their dick in his face.
And then this happened. Fire away, buddy.
I'm still looking. Give me a second. It's deep on the tweets. So
deep on the tweets.
So My expectations when I bought tickets, once it was announced, because this is the start of my birthday, my expectations was like, okay, I got fucked over for Charlotte. I expected to meet a Naito, which is my favorite wrestler in New Japan. Um, I eventually got to meet the Gorillas of Destiny at MCW. Uh, I also wanted to meet, maybe a Osprey or a Okada, get some Okada bucks, shit like that. So New Japan, if I can find this shit, decided that they wanted to release the meet and greets for New York, Philly, and Boston. And I cannot find it for some odd reason.
They
Son of a
blocked.
bitch!
They blocked you
Okay,
from
here
seeing
we
it.
go. I found it. Okay. So, for those people who are going to Philly, listen to this shit. So the meet and greets for Lowell, Massachusetts include Tanahashi, Sonata, Roppongi 3K, and the Rock and Roll Express. For the folks going to New York, you get to meet Kota Ibushi, Tomohiro Ishii, Lance Archer, I'm sorry, and you get to meet Taiga Hattori. Philadelphia, all you fucking get is Shingo Takagi and fucking Evil. That's it.
Two
Wow.
people.
Two fucking people.
Wow.
Two motherfucking people. So you mean to tell me, and I've already met Tanahashi. I would have loved to have met Sonata, as Matt stated when we went to Best in the World.
Yeah.
That would have been fine with me. Hey, cool. I'm a Lij fan, but Evil is not the one I want to meet. I think out of my favorites, he's probably the last one because I love Bushi and Sonata more.
Yeah.
I just can't. I just can't. How do you half-ass a meet and greet? Like really? Like what is the plan? Are they going to like start dancing in the beginning of a show? Is this going to be like I don't know? Do you interview me? I don't get it. I really don't get it at all. And here's the funny thing: they just added standing room tickets because the show sold out.
I think New Japan just likes slapping their dick in your face, Daryl.
You know what?
Three times ain't a coincidence, or three times is not by accident, man.
Shit, fucking 1 inch.
I
Fuck.
was
1 inch,
just gonna say they probably have a 1 inch.
1 inch dick.
I'm just like it boggles the mind how you could have made so much money off these meet and greets for fans that, and I'm pretty sure you got folks who probably are going to New York and then probably going to Philly because it's only maybe like a 2.5 hour drive. I'm with it, but really, no Okada. You're not. They're not. You're not. And all three shows, you don't have a God. You don't have an Okada. You don't have a Naito. You don't have a Will Ospreay. Come on, really? You might as well put daggone Heath Slater in a meet and greet with Curtis Hawkins
At a New Japan show.
at a New Japan show.
Yeah.
You both went to Mania. You both went to Access. Do you remember walking around Access for people that you wanted to meet, and you see those people who you don't want to meet, whose lines are like barely there?
Oh, I was in line for an hour and a half for Paul Heyman, and I get nearly to the front, and they replace him with Darren Young and Zack Ryder.
So imagine how that line evacuated quickly.
Yep.
That's how I feel.
Well, it was about time for Takeover, so I'm like, well, fuck it. This is about the only autograph I'm gonna get, so
So you know what the fuck I'm gonna do?
that's why I'm never going to Access again.
I'm going to sit at the bar and order a drink
There you
and
go.
watch the other people meet two people.
Watch him. Yeah.
Rant over.
Chris Jericho's cruise is officially sold out. The second cruise is launching to the Bahamas on January 20th to the 24th, so that is now officially
I bet you
sold
his
out.
meet and greet is fucking full.
Yeah. James Gunn unveiled the cast for the upcoming Suicide Squad film. John Cena listed in there. So he'll be a part of the cast. No Will Smith this time around.
I think Idris Elba's taking his place.
That was the original rumor, but I hear he's going to be in the movie, but he's not going to be Deadshot.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Oh, I mean that way they want to bring Smith back as Deadshot. They can. Like the only, I hear the only reason he's not in it is because there's some kind of scheduling conflict with something else that he's filming. So if DC wants to keep Will, yeah, probably the best thing they can do is not recast his character.
No shit. One of the best WWE reality shows is making its way to the WWE Network. This Friday, the 20-episode season 1 of Ms. and Mrs. will be coming to the WWE Network on Friday, September 20th. So, great show. So you'll get to see the first 20 episodes of that series this Friday. Things getting weirder in Ring of Honor territory. Their current television champion has just agreed to a buyout of his contract, effective immediately. Shane Taylor is no longer with Ring of Honor.
Well, we don't know if that's storyline or not.
Oh, you think it might be storyline, huh?
There's a chance.
I haven't been paying attention to
who the fuck wants Shane Taylor?
Yeah.
Like, really, did he really need to freaking get out of his contract to go somewhere else? Like, to me, I'm gonna say this is storyline for now until I'm proven otherwise. I think this is not Impact, but this is Ring of Honor desperate for.
I think your Freudian
attention.
slip of Impact was almost apropos there, Matt.
Because this would be something that Impact would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
The latest stop for AEW on TNT was announced today, or yesterday actually, and they will be coming closer to the Midwest, Indianapolis, Indiana, on November 20th. Tickets go on sale this Friday, September 20th. Oh, best believe I will be coming to a show if they go to Lincoln or Omaha. So that adds to, of course, DC on the very first one, Boston, Philly, Pittsburgh, New York City, Charleston, West Virginia, Charlotte, North Carolina, Baltimore, Maryland, Nashville, Tennessee, Indianapolis, and also Hoffman Estate, Illinois at the Sears Center. So they're making a return to the Sears Center on the 27th. Television is preempted on Christmas due to TNT Christmas programming. That little shit they show, doesn't TNT?
They show a Christmas Story all for like 24 hours straight.
Yeah. And then the Jericho Cruise. I wonder what they'll do with the Jericho Cruise, if they're going to do live on the cruise or what they'll do in January.
What days are the Jericho? What days are the Jericho Cruise?
Right?
It's in January, right?
20th to the 24th. So that is Monday to Friday.
Damn, they got a 5-day cruise. Sheesh.
Well, you leave on the 20th, and
yeah, like I don't know what they're gonna do that day. That was one of the things I brought up originally when they announced this cruise, and they announced all these AEW talents on there. I'm like, what are you gonna do with your TNT show, and how can you even guarantee that you'd be able to get a proper feed from the cruise ship to TNT? Like, there's so many things that could go. There's so many things that could go wrong here. Like, this could end up going very badly.
Yeah, I don't know. That's unless they tape ahead of time, and just put a pre-taped episode out there on that week.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they might have to be honest.
Yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the logistics of broadcasting live from the Bahamas, but I'm sure it's not cheap. They'll
I
be,
mean, they did it last year, but they like just filmed a bunch of shit.
yeah, I mean, because they'll be already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, isn't the stuff that they showed last year that none of that was live, right?
No.
Nah, it was very limited. Like they didn't show the whole tournament. They just showed it on ROH's like app.
But Wednesday's the direct middle of the whole trip, so they'll be docked and in the Bahamas, so maybe it's possible.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess there's a venue there that they could.
They
run,
usually do it on the ship.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, if they're docked somewhere on Wednesday, maybe they could just like wrestle at a local venue in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, you got to get those tickets on sale.
Yeah. Plus, you got to get a wrestling license and some more shit.
It'll be interesting.
WWE has filed trademarks for the Disrespected and for Boa. Boa is obviously the Chinese superstar that we saw in NXT last week. The Disrespected might be a new faction. Probably led by Zack Ryder, Bo Dallas. Wouldn't that be funny if that's what that is? Steve Austin applying a lot of trademarks as well. He applied a trademark for Steve Austin. Also, the King of Professional Wrestling, the Queen of Attitude, and he's also applied for trademarks for merchandise purposes for Scullaflage, Broken Skull Ranch, and King of Attitude. Season 2 of the Titan Games was just announced by The Rock on Twitter today.
If you smell.
And that was a fun show. Either one of you guys watch?
I did enjoy it. Yeah.
That was a good. It was like an American Gladiators type of deal, except for it was person versus person. No third party trying to fuck you over on the events. It was really well done, I thought. So you can go to NBC.com/Titans if you think you got what it takes.
I do not.
I don't either.
I know.
I saw that show. I do not have what it takes.
But of course, as you know by now, Baron Corbin won the King of the Ring and got a lot of praise from some wrestlers, including one current one, Randy Orton. Lance Storm had posted, Corbin takes a lot of shit, but that dude always plants guys flat and is safe, and even when that catch didn't go right. I've been saying it, he's been one of the more consistent wrestlers this year.
Absolutely.
And a great heel. I think he deserves that King of the Ring. And Randy Orton retweeted Lance Storm and said, hate to say it, but he's one of the few that gets the art. So Randy Orton putting over Baron Corbin as well. Next year, Andre the Giant biography is going to be released called The Eighth Wonder of the World, the true story of Andre the Giant, written by Bertrand Hebert and Pat LaPrade, who were both producers for the HBO documentary. And this book will be out sometime in April of next year. And that HBO documentary was sad, but it was good, but also sad at the same time because just how much his life went downhill as he got older. But for those wondering, well, obviously he was on TV tonight, so Ric Flair and his issues with the Man trademark are not keeping him from being a part of the WWE. He did a cricket Q&A with his daughter Charlotte this week, as well as you saw him on SmackDown Live backstage. You think Rick's just blowing smoke and just to get a headline out?
Wouldn't put it past Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Do you honestly think he's trying to get money out of this? Well, yeah, it's Rick, so yeah.
Rick, I'm desperate for money, Flair.
As Matt said, Mike Johnson was wrong about Kevin Owens not being backstage, but he was there. He showed up in the crowd. Expectations him for to go to NXT, but I think that is probably a no. I'm thinking it's Shane and Owens one more time in Hell in a Cell, according to
they're not doing 3 Hell in a Cell matches.
No, at the pay-per-view is what I meant.
You mean then at Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And honest to God, I don't want to see that match
No,
again.
I don't know if it's actually leading to that, but
I hope not. Just kill it already.
based on
Kill it with fire.
But like that contract or on that subpoena that Owens gave Shane, it sure sounded like when he wins, so it almost sounded like he gets a match, and he gets to tell Shane he's fine.
I think he meant when he wins the lawsuit.
Okay, good, because I'm with you. We don't need another Shane. We don't need another Shane match this year. Period. We've had enough of those. We've had enough of Shane. So.
You are so right, buddy.
I kind of was looking forward
to
KO on NXT, but I after tonight, I don't think that's happening. You agree?
I'd still like to have it as a surprise, which would be even more of a surprise since he was on SmackDown tonight. But that can be hopeful.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out tomorrow. And some late breaking news: WWE has announced that they will live stream the 2019 Starrcade event, a 1-hour special from Duluth, Georgia, on Sunday, December 1st at 7 Eastern. This is, I believe, the third straight year they've done that for Starrcade. I just wish they would do more than a 1-hour special. I wish they would just show the whole show. You know, fuck it.
I don't even understand why they're doing it again.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I went to the first Starrcade they did out in Greensboro. It wasn't all it cracked up to be. Only excitement I got from it was seeing Arn Anderson. That's it.
Yeah.
Just ask Tully. Just ask Arn.
NXT this week, Damian Priest killed Boa. They recapped Roderick Strong setting Velveteen's couch on fire. How dare he? Johnny Gargano came to the ring and told the NXT universe that he is not going to Raw or SmackDown. He is staying in NXT, and I think that's 100% the right move, because even with Heyman and Bischoff there now, I still don't trust him being used right on Raw or SmackDown. So
I'm sure a majority of the upper echelon of the NXT roster is breathing a collective sigh of relief that they do not have to leave the black and gold brand, because
for exposure.
After tonight, like, look, NXT, it's not developmental anymore. It's a full-fledged third brand of the WWE.
I mean, it's been that way for a while now, but
yeah, but I mean, it's official now.
Yeah.
You know, you live 2 hours every week on USA.
Yep.
Like, you ain't developmental no more. Like, you're just as legit as Raw and SmackDown, and like, I'm sure people like Gargano and Ciampa and people like that are just so fucking thrilled that they don't have to worry about.
God, I can't wait till Ciampa comes back.
Going to Raw and SmackDown anytime soon.
If he's physically cleared to get it back in the ring and work off the rust. So it's coming. And he got interrupted. Gargano got interrupted by Shane Thorne, and I'm really liking Shane Thorne's heel persona here as of late. I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, he's always been an entertaining guy. I always thought he had some promise, and I think he's kind of showing me something as a heel here. He eats a super kick from Johnny after he interrupted him. Another guy that's really impressed me and a lot of the WWE universe as well is Angel Garza, and he took on Pete Dunne in a hell of a match. I think Angel Garza's got a hell of a future in NXT.
Yeah, I saw him wrestle a couple times in Ring of Honor. Like, I like the kid.
Yeah, that dude's got it. Quick match between Cameron Grimes and Raul Mendoza. And then the main event was Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley in a non-title match, but turned out to be the return of Shafir and Duke to cause a disqualification. But then Rhea took the chair and clocked Shayna with it to get the win by disqualification. I honestly think Rhea is going to be the one to take the title off of Shayna. I don't think any one of those four women in that match tomorrow are going to take it off of Shayna. I think Rhea is going to be the one to take it off of Shayna. Don't you? You guys, you agree with that, or?
I'm still up in the air with that. I mean, it seems like that will be the case, but I've seen stranger things happen.
Sure, Dad.
Raw kicked off from Knoxville, Tennessee, and as we mentioned, Rollins grabbing the mic and the fans chanted "Yowie Wowie." That's enough to know that which side the fans are going to be on at Hell in a Cell. I love when the Firefly Funhouse comes and regular Bray interacts with the wrestlers. I love it. He's like their best friend, you know. He's got a wall of friends. I love the wall of friends.
I liked Rambo and Rabbit trying to warn Rollins.
Yeah. And he got his.
I think that might be my Halloween costume. The Fiend.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be Rambling Rabbit.
It's gonna be Rambling Rabbit.
That's even better.
Oh, that would have been funny as shit.
Let me in.
I got the hair to go with it. Why not?
Yeah, you could if they start selling the mask, you could.
They
pull
know
it
they
off.
already start selling the mask on the shop.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was a tag team summit with the new tag team champions Ziggler and Roode and the Revival, but unfortunately they didn't hear Strowman's promo that said whoever's in the ring in the next couple of minutes is going to get these hands, and well, that's what happened.
By God.
Fans of Ring of Honor from a few years ago are kind of excited for this one with Cedric Alexander teaming with the Viking Warriors to take on the Club or the OC or whatever the fuck you want to call them now.
Pretty much New Japan War at Worlds.
I am all for Viking Raiders against OC feud, man. I'm all for that.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for another team to come back so they can feud with the Viking Raiders. And I've been asking for this in NXT for so long, but it never got to happen.
Oh yeah, AOP.
Yes.
Who did make their return on a vignette. What'd you guys think of that vignette? I kind of like they kind of look like mafia bosses or something in those suits.
I'm with it.
I don't like it because it feels like the typical Vince stereotype gimmick.
It is, but I like
how he treats the foreigner characters, and until I'm proven otherwise that this isn't going to be more of the same,
but
I was not feeling it at all.
But that's the craziness. Like AOP's not fully foreign. Like those dudes.
I know they're not, but
like
that's Vince's mentality.
They speak fucking clear as day English.
They don't speak English very well. That's why they've always had the mouthpieces.
Who? I had a full on conversation with Akam.
Well,
he honestly sounds like my fucking brother.
From my understanding, they do not have a full grasp of the English language. That's what I've been told. Maybe it's just Razor, but that's what I've been told.
Oh my God!
I'm just telling you, man.
You remember that episode?
I had conversations with Asuka and Shinsuke at Access too. It doesn't mean that they've been able to transpire that onto television correctly.
Do you remember that episode of Dave Chappelle when he dressed up as Rick James and slapped the shit out of Charlie Murphy? That's how I want to slap him.
What did the five fingers say in the face?
Slap! I'm Rick James, bitch.
Who are you gonna slap?
Vince.
Well, I would pay to see that.
Shit, I'll do it for you for free.
Ah! It's even better.
For the first time ever, Glenn Jacobs showed up on Raw, meeting R-Truth and Carmella. The mayor. Him and Glenn Jacobs and R-Truth, that was just some funny shit. I loved it. Finals of the King of the Ring. I saw someone on Twitter say this was better than almost every match on Clash of Champions, and I agree. This was a hell of a match. There were many believable spots where you thought Gable was going to win.
As soon as he got to the ropes.
Yep.
I knew it was. I was like, that's done.
Yep. But like almost every match was impressive in this whole tournament. So I was pretty happy with the King of the Ring overall. And more Vince humor. The Mike Kanellis gender reveal party.
Ugh. The worst. I feel so bad. Like you think I'd want to say I feel bad for Mike and Maria, but man, I feel fucking bad for Rusev.
Somebody said to me they wish Vince would have signed Mike Bennett rather than sign Mike Kanellis.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Rusev is the dad either, but I think she's just fucking with Mike because she knows he's a pussy.
Pussy.
Rusev, though, he's a little leaner and meaner and got a sick mustache, huh?
Best shape of his life, and he had to come back to that shit.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's the dad.
It doesn't matter if he's the dad. That's how they returned him.
Yeah.
It was awful. Just fucking awful.
Glenn Jacobs is showing R-Truth the Tennessee Volunteers football field, and Truth was confused why there were a bunch of Salvation Army workers at the stadium. Because Truth doesn't quite get everything. Glenn had him meet a cop, but the cop also moonlighted as a referee, and Truth tried to run away, but went face first into the goalpost. And Glenn Jacobs covers R-Truth and becomes your new 24/7 champion. And immediately, I saw people on Twitter asking for a mayor versus mayor match and bring Matt Morgan in.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, the 24/7 it never ceases to entertain me. Rey Mysterio and Cesaro had a great match. Cesaro eventually, I mean, he's on TV every week having great matches. He's just losing all those matches, but Heyman's high on him, so I think eventually the tide will turn with Cesaro. Then they showed the AOP video package. We get Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, the women's tag champions, taking on Sasha Banks and Bayley. They had kind of a bone to pick with them because they basically shat on the tag titles, and Bliss and Cross think they do mean something. But they injure Bliss's knee and basically made it a handicap match where Nikki Cross looked very, very impressive, as she has been over the past few months. Close to coming, pulling it out, but the numbers game led to the heels getting the win. They go for a little bit of an attack afterwards, but Becky Lynch makes the save along with Charlotte Flair. And props to Charlotte Flair for delivering that big boot in heels, kicking the chair out of Bayley's hands. That was pretty badass. Glenn Jacobs shows up at Raw, and R-Truth is on the roof of the limo. He's trying. He rolls up Kane and gets the title back again. And Jacobs then grabs Truth by the throat as he's starting to turn into Kane, and Truth reasons with him and says, you have to defend this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And Mr. President, you can't do that with your duties. Let's call a truce. And Glenn's like, yeah, you're right. After all the stuff with the women too, I loved the locker room promos from Sasha and Becky. I thought those were great. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's a Heyman thing right there. We didn't see things like that before. We would see like Charlie Caruso get in the ring, and I always thought those were awkward interviews. So I like the on camera in the locker room. Very good. We hardly ever see Dana Brooke, and Lacey Evans beat her in about 3 minutes, so that was fun. Seth Rollins took on Robert Roode, and that ended in disqualification thanks to Ziggler. And then the OC.
I was very happy to see that.
Yeah, that Roode didn't eat the pin.
Yeah, because Roode got the big rub by beating Rollins clean on Sunday, and I was just like, as soon as I heard that match was booked, I'm like, oh great, so they could just take it right back away from him.
Yeah.
And I was actually really pleased to see that Roode did not have to eat that pinfall loss on Monday. Thank you, Paul.
And Paul knows what to do. The OC came out, and so it was a 5-on-1 beatdown. When who makes the save but Kane? And I thought it was a great spot for Kane. I mean, obviously we're not going to see much more of him since he's the mayor. But I thought this was a great kind of spot to kind of return him in and set him up for the Fiend. Who the look on Seth Rollins' face when the Fiend put down Kane and crawled over to him I thought that was perfect. Like Seth looked scared shitless, and I thought that was a pretty cool ending of Raw. What'd you guys think?
You need to sell the Fiend, man. And look, Raw wasn't perfect. It had its moments of shit. It had some good stuff too. But at least the ending was good. Personally, I thought SmackDown blew Raw out of the water this week.
I thought overall it was a good 3 hours overall, but there was some Vince in there that you obviously knew what was Vince. And yeah, SmackDown, I mean, led off with a 20-minute match, 6-man tag, New Day and FTRKO. I thought that was solid. I thought that was solid. I was kind of surprised the New Day got over on that one. But
it made sense with where they were going afterwards.
Yep, because I didn't expect the Beast to show up, and he challenged Kofi.
Yeah, that was certainly a surprise.
He challenges Kofi to the WWE Championship match on the very first SmackDown on Fox, October 4th, and Kofi says he accepts. Lesnar looked like he was going to shake hands, but no, come on, Kofi, you know better than that. And Kofi eats an F5. Like I said earlier on the show, I was impressed with Eric Rowan throughout this night on SmackDown. I thought the sit-down interview with Michael Cole was really good. So there again, like Daryl mentioned, I mean, it's building new stars that have been sitting on the sidelines for so damn long, and I think Rowan really shined tonight.
You got to. That's how your product gets stale if you run the same bullshit over and over and over and over again.
Yep. And Sami Zayn's still selling the Undertaker chokeslam, wearing the net breaks. Introduces Nakamura. He was supposed to take on Ali, but Ali held the leg of Ali, and Nakamura hit him with a knee to the back of the head, and then hit the Kinshasa. So no match here. Obviously, they're setting that up for Hell in a Cell. Then they show Kevin Owens. All of a sudden you see all the crowd just turning all at once to see what's going on, and there's Kevin Owens as he bought a ticket to the arena. And I thought it was hilarious. John Cone shows up. Hey, by the way, Kevin Owens is here. While Kevin Owens is on the TV that Shane's watching. I think that was unintentional comedy, and I loved it. He was served with some papers. Obviously, Owens is suing him for unlawful termination, and he's got a case. And he says Shane knows he's got a case. So, be interesting to see where that goes from here. We all know that Kevin Owens ain't going anywhere. He just signed a 5-year deal. Sasha and Charlotte renewed their rivalries, but obviously with Bayley at ringside, you knew this wasn't going to end clean, and it didn't. And then Carmella came out and tried to save Charlotte, but I thought Teddy Long was coming out after that. Gonna make a tag match play. What'd you guys think of Gable coming to shit on the coronation ceremony?
That was pretty cool.
I thought it was the best thing they could do after Gable taking the loss on Monday. I think it was the perfect thing to do to keep his momentum going. I loved it. I thought it was perfect. Heavy Machinery took on the B Team, and Otis has decided to go trunks only now. Itaki! Or would you say Otis is in full gear? Full gear?
Stop it!
Full gear.
I thought it was hilarious that he's in trunks now. Then Daniel Bryan came out and told everybody that he's never lied to us, and he thought of Rowan as a friend, and Rowan says that he didn't believe in Bryan. He was just there to be in the background and have his back. And speaking of having his back, Harper has Rowan's back as he knocked Daniel Bryan out from behind, and they attack, and Roman Reigns comes in to make the save. But Rowan and Harper fucked some shit up, including Tom Phillips taking a bump there at the end of the show. That was a pretty great end to SmackDown, wasn't it?
Still not 100% convinced that Daniel Bryan isn't behind all of this.
You wonder, but
I'm not sold yet.
He took a beating, though.
I'm not sold yet. I'm not sold yet either.
He took a beating, though. But I guess you have to take a beating to make it believable, right? And then Daniel Bryan comes out and says, "It was me all along."
With a cape and a claw.
I love the ending of SmackDown. Tom Phillips, man. taking a bump. I thought it was Saxton at first. Well, actually, at first I thought it was Graves because of that. It was that end of the table, and I'm like, "What? Graves is taking a bump?" But then I heard Graves.
Wish.
Then I heard Graves talking. I was like, "Oh, that was Saxton."
Take that fucking bump, you whore.
And then Saxton started. Oh shit! Tom Phillips took that bump, and that was like he took a spill in that chair.
Definitely did.
Man, that was a great end to SmackDown. So, Clash was very meh. And but Raw and SmackDown, I was very happy with how those turned out. So,
like I said, I didn't think Raw was a perfect show.
Overall, it was good.
I definitely enjoyed SmackDown.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard as we get excited to watch NXT live on the USA Network tomorrow.
Yippee! By God!
Can't wait to see that era kick off. See what play on words there, because it's going to be ending with the era draped in gold, as Adam Cole, Bebe, proclaimed several months ago. So
wowie.
We will give you our thoughts on the first edition of the live NXT. Reminder, the first hour on USA, then you got to head over to the WWE Network to watch the second hour. But I'm sure they'll hit you over the head with that as it leads up to the end of the first hour. So I'm sure they'll remind you. The WWE will remind you. I just have a feeling. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for The Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. But if you subscribe, that way you know when a new episode comes out in case we decide to put it out on a different day for scheduling reasons or whatever may happen. You can subscribe to us also on the YouTube. We got the links to all that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Also on the Twitter, we got those links at LATMC Podcast, where we share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. Daryl is on the Twitter at NoOneLikeD. Matt is on the Twitter at Rob Showtime. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. Give us all a follow. Bullshit with us while we tweet during the shows and stuff. We'd love to hear from you. And before we ride off into the sunset and get ready for the first shot of the Wednesday Night Wars, Daryl, what are your final thoughts?
I'm just looking forward to just the creativity. And just to see more wrestling. It's a lot of wrestling to watch, man.
I was going to say, I don't know how much more wrestling we could take.
You're right. Cramming that shit down our damn throats.
It's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I don't know where we're gonna fit it all in, but
I feel like Wednesday's now my favorite night for wrestling every week now, though.
Well, that's gonna be the consensus for a lot of fans. So
yeah, I feel like starting in October, Wednesday night is wrestling night. Monday and Friday, there's wrestling on, but Wednesday night is wrestling night.
It'll be interesting.
It's gonna be good shit, pal.
It'll be interesting if these wars kind of escalate them above Raw and SmackDown in the ratings too. I can't wait to see that first rating sheet for NXT and see where they stack up. It's going to be very interesting to see.
I think it's gonna come in time.
Yeah.
There'll
be a big boom tomorrow just because it's being so heavily promoted. But
if I had to guess,
$1.5 million.
I was gonna say I would say about $1.5 million tomorrow.
Yeah.
But hey, I could be wrong. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll definitely have those numbers by recording next week. So for Daryl Bullock, for Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. We will catch you next week.